Today we're going to be looking at how to define your audience. This is going to be a discussion of how difficult marketing can be for freelance writers who are introverts. Raise your hand if you're an introvert. Yeah, me too. So I get this. That's why I made this series. And we're also going to discuss how critical marketing is to find new clients, build income, build your brand, and get success. We're going to spend 4 weeks building an action plan to market authentically so you can do what you need to do to grow your freelance business without feeling icky inside. Now trust me, you got this. We're going to make it really simple and clear. Now, before we do that, I just want to give a brief introduction about me. Many of you know who I am, you read the blog, or you get the newsletter, but some of you may not. I'm Lindsay. I run Ask a Working Writer, and I am a full-time freelance writer who's passionate about working from home, being self-sufficient, and helping other people find success with freelancing. So enough about me. Let's talk about marketing for writers. What is it, and why does it matter? Now, I like this quote because it really simplifies it in a way that's organic for writers. Many of us need to make that mindset shift in order to get on board with marketing authentically. All marketing really is just telling your story to a specific subset of people, and that's your audience. So today, we're specifically going to look at the audience aspect of marketing and find out who's in your audience, your tribe. Now, to start, let's talk about what an audience is. Here's an example on the slide. An audience is a specific subset of people. You can have multiple different audiences. Many of us do, but for the moment, we're going to start with just one audience. So this example audience is people of any race who fall in the age demographic 20 to 45 years old. They care about trends, and they have or aspire to have a beach lifestyle. This audience is missing some demographics. We don't know what gender they are, how much money they make, or where they live, but you get the point. And so does the marketer. That's you. So once you have your target audience defined, you can think about the kind of things that are important to them, that they care about, and then you can use this knowledge to factor your audience into every single piece of content that you create. So whether it's a blog post or a podcast or a tweet, it's going to be something that this trendy, beachy audience is going to be excited to hear about. And it's going to build that connection to you. So now the next step is we're going to talk about how to find your audience so that you can get really clear on your marketing, which we're going to do in the rest of this series. Now I'm going to share with you a technique that I learned, which I learned from the writer Gabriela Pereira, on how you can figure out who is in your audience if you're not sure who your target audience is. And this is a technique that draws on people who are operating within your niche and who already have their audience defined. So you can actually kind of go in and do some undercover work to figure it out. And you can do this technique by looking at things like blog comments, Facebook groups, social media, even websites like Amazon and Goodreads where people make reviews of what types of content they liked or they didn't like. So let's get right to it. So what you do is you go to one of these sites and you look for people who might have been searching for the type of experience that you can provide. So I'll use myself as an example here. I help freelance writers find success so they can earn a living doing what they love. So I might do this by searching, say, on Amazon for a book that was really helpful to me when I was trying to build a consistent writing practice, which is The Artist's Way. I might go and look for an Amazon review for someone who had a similar experience with that book to me. And this might be somebody who said that the book was really influential to them in helping them set aside time to write, and that they've since shared it with several of their friends who also want to write or be artists. This would be someone who really loved that book and found them helpful. Now, not necessarily someone who's a super fan of the writer Julia Cameron, the kind of person that would read anything she wrote just because she wrote it, because she and I are different people, and I don't have the same things to offer that she has to offer, but I would be able to help someone set aside time to write and find a consistent writing practice and develop the kind of productive habits they need to set themselves up for success. So somebody who focused on those things, those attributes within the artist's way, would also be interested in what I do. And conversely, I can also take that person who wrote that review of the artist's way and dig into who they are and what other topics interest them so that I can better serve them. So that's kind of the abstract overview. Now let's get into some concrete examples so you guys can really understand how this technique works. So now here's one example, one review from Amazon of somebody who gave some concrete examples of what they liked and what they didn't like about the artist's way. And then in the background is actually a photo from Instagram, and that's of somebody who used the hashtag artist's way. And this is just to show you what I might look for. And now the next step would be to look at these people's profiles on Amazon or Instagram to try to figure out what demographic boxes they might fit. Who are they? Who is this woman in the hammock with the painted toenails? Who is Hilda B. Gilbert, who wrote this review? What do they do? How old are they? Where do they live? Why is this topic important to them? How can I help them? And what else resonates with them that might be able to help me build my brand? So maybe digging around a little bit, I see that they keep a journal, or they like to post inspirational quotes in their Instagram account, or they talk about how their productivity really increased once they started doing the artist's way, and they have a bunch of posts that are tagged with the hashtag artist's way. Well, all of these qualities help me figure out who might be a part of my audience and what they like and need so that I can position my brand to serve their needs in a way that feels right for me by finding the overlap between my experience, my passion, and what they like and need. So for today, I'm going to encourage you to grab the worksheet if you haven't already and take a couple hours and go put this into practice yourself. Look at a blog you love or find a book that really inspired you on Amazon or click through a hashtag that you use a lot on social media and see what kind of information you can find out about other people who might be part of your tribe, your target audience. Now, once you start to do this, it can actually be kind of fun. And then that's when you know that you're on the right track with connecting to people who are in your audience in a way where you get to be real and really relate to them on a tribe level where it's no longer about marketing or selling or any of those concepts that just might not really ring true for you or you kind of feel icky about them. Instead, it's just about you sharing and exchanging information with them, and then you can attach a value to that, like money. So after I dig into a few of these profiles, I can then start to build a picture of the sort of person that would be a fan of my work. And then I would start again with a different influence. For example, I might then go onto Twitter and search for people that are using the hashtag freelance success, which is something I use in my work. And then I could connect directly to these followers on Twitter and kind of go through their tweets and see, what else are they tweeting about? What are some other pain points they have that I might be able to speak to? Or I might be able to take from the Instagram example, say, and realizing that this audience is really interested in inspirational quotes and pretty images, make a concerted effort to share more of that content on my Instagram to catch their attention and then connect with them and show them to some of my offerings that might be able to help them. Now, one final note, as you do this, you're going to find some people that aren't a good fit. Maybe they don't really seem like they're part of your tribe, or they're located internationally and right now you're focusing only on the US, or they don't have anything else in common with you except you both like the artist's way. That's okay. That's normal, and that's even kind of freeing. What you learn from this is that everyone is not your customer, and that's okay. Once you figure out who is your customer and who's in your tribe, then you can focus more of your attention on them because they're the ones that really matter. So that's where we're going to leave it today. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and grab the worksheet and dig into the research. Really take your time, have fun with this. Follow all of the rabbit holes on Amazon, blogs, Twitter, Instagram, until you really find that key information that you can grab and hook into and tap into in your marketing. Now, I'm here for any questions. You can either reach me on the blog, Ask a Working Writer, or you can go over to my Instagram and leave a comment on my latest post. Next week, we're going to focus on you. We're going to talk about how you create your message so that you can connect what you're doing to this awesome audience that you just uncovered today. And then ahead in weeks 3 and 4, we're going to talk about how to build momentum so you can keep growing, and then how to bring it home so you're creating lasting relationships and you're beginning to earn from your expertise. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and share it with a friend that's also struggling to grow their freelance income. And come back here next week for the second video in this series.